It's match of the round underway. Round 13. Upwey Tecoma v Woori. Battle of the Mountain Tigers and the Valley Tigers. And Upwey forcing an early interception. Davies got ball in hand for the time being. Just goes with a short pass to Pickard. A short pass there coming into Hamilton. Hamilton onto Donnelly, who's starting at wing attack here. Interesting one, kept in by Theos, but cut off nicely by Smith, who unsure where to go. Just went short with that one to Barber, then back to Smith. Smith looks further a court and well and truly out of play, so this will come back. So Davies, dangerous one, but it'll work out for Pickard for the time being. That pass momentarily cut off, but Donnelly eventually on the end of it. Comes out wide to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Donnelly. Looking for Theos, but then again, doing that pretty well to Theos, but nicely cut off there by Caneva. That pass, though, affected and cut off by Donnelly, who goes short. And Mia Louis on the end of this one. Short to Hamilton. And Hamilton puts it through. First goal of the afternoon, go the way of Upwey Tecoma. 1-0 the score. As it'll come back to Theos in the centre. Pickard doing well. Donnelly once again to Hamilton. Tucked into the corner. Puts it up all the way across to Theos, who's unsure where to go for the time being and maybe just took too long. And this will come back to Caneva. And once again back to Caneva. Short with that pass. Long one up the line to Corliss. Corliss then continues to move it across to DeBoof. So they can work it around for the time being. Can Woori Yallock? This is going to come back to DeBoof. DeBoof to Barber. Barber. Smith looking for Corliss, but cut off nicely there by Davies. Finds Theos. O'Hare. Pickard once again. Short to O'Hare. And now it works its way to Donnelly. Waits a moment, then does well to Theos. Fires it out to Hamilton. Hamilton all the way back to Pickard. Hamilton looking for Donnelly. And does eventually get it to her. Mia Louis onto the end of this one. So, chance for back-to-back goals here for Upwey Tecoma. Hamilton got the first one. Theos got the second one. Louis, I should say, got the second one. So it's back in the centre now for Smith. Pass comes out wide. Donnelly comes in to cut it off, and it is going to go the way of Woori Yallock. Thought it went Upwey Tecoma's way, but it is going to come back. So Smith, short to Corliss. Corliss, another short one to Miller. Miller back to Smith. Another little underground one to Miller, who doesn't look like she's going to have the shot at goal. And she's momentarily cut off for the time being. So it comes back to Booth, and now Miller, who can line them up and puts it through. So good finish that was. So they can work it around here at the moment. Pick it onto Hamilton and then to Donnelly. Cut off by Caneva, but it comes back to Donnelly. She finds Hamilton. And she puts it through. It has to come back though. And this time Hamilton does put it through. So 3 goals to 1 the start for Upwey Tecoma, which is just what they would have wanted. The pass comes out to DeBoof, then comes back. Smith has Miller short and goes for her as well. Then comes back to DeBoof for the time being, looking for Miller, but the pass is over her head. And it is going to come back for O'Hare, who can go short to Pickard. So DeBoof, Miller, for their second goal, puts it through. So it comes out to Pickard. Good long pass to Donnelly. Donnelly looks at Louis and gets it to her. And she puts that one through, back out to a 2-goal margin. So just got the early bit of control in this game so far. Still Upwey Tecoma. This has got to come back though. So Demi Barber fires it into Smith, who has the short option of Corliss and goes for it. And Danica Corliss puts it through, gets it back to that 1-goal margin. So now back to Georgia Theos in the centre, who comes laterally. Nice one there to Davies. Donnelly goes back to Davies. Theos spills it momentarily, but Donnelly recovered it. She's going to come back to Pickard, then once again with Donnelly. Could have gone out wide to Theos, but went short to Hamilton. Back to Donnelly. Has a couple of options. So Donnelly centres it nicely. And into the hands of Hamilton, who makes that one work back out to a 2-goal margin. So 5-3 the score at the moment. Smith, lateral pass, good one to Barber. She comes back to Smith. Smith, another short one to DeBoof, just working their way through at the moment. Corliss onto Miller, puts it up and does well there. Corliss got the contact, but she collected it nicely anyway, and she can line it up. And once again, get the margin back to 1 goal. So back in the centre again, comes out wide with a pass. Theos to Donnelly. She slips over Theos, but she's back on her feet. Hamilton does well and finds Louis. And Mia Louis puts that one through. Once again, back to a 2-goal margin. Quick response there for Upwey Tecoma. DeBoof did well with a pass to Corliss, not the best. Finds its way out of play. Comes back to O'Hare. So O'Hare can go short to Davies. Davies does well to Pickard. Finds Donnelly. Donnelly does nicely. Comes back to Davies once again. Donnelly looks for Hamilton. Knocked away illegally there by Caneva. Just gave away the contact. And she does well. Donnelly finds Hamilton, who started this game off well, and she puts through another goal and gets the margin out to 3 goals. And Haley DeBoof has to come off for a blood rule. So Corliss moving into goal, or wing attack, I should say. Interesting decision that one is anyway. Theos back in the centre to Donnelly. It was a good pass. Theos spills it and it's cut off. So Smith, they can go back the other way here. Yallock, Barber, long pass onto Corliss. Corliss looks ahead, finds Smith. That's a really good pass on that occasion. And through the hands, it's going to trickle out of play, so it'll come back to O'Hare. Pickard onto Theos. Davies did well. Kept her feet nicely in the wet. Louis. Donnelly. Back to Mia Louis. So this for a 4-goal margin. She can convert this opportunity. Can't do on the first attempt. But she can on this occasion. Back out to a 4-goal margin because of the game so far. So a good start for Upwey Tecoma. As once again, Smith finds herself in the centre. Kylie Miller searching around. Comes out to Corliss. And that one trickles out of play. So Kylie Miller just back with the pass for the moment. And now she can line them up. And that looks pretty good. She started the game well so far, Kylie Miller. Gets the margin back to 3 goals for the time being. Good pass from Theos onto Donnelly. Hamilton. Donnelly received contact. So it comes back to Donnelly, who finds Theos. This is an interesting pass, and it's out of play off Caneva, so it's going to stay with Upwey Tecoma. So Mia Louis, Theos back to Louis, who once again can put it back out to 4 goals. And where we get it back, so Caneva did well onto Barber. And it's got to come back with Upwey Tecoma once again. Donnelly wastes no time finding Theos. Theos' little underground pass is a good one to Hamilton. And Hamilton puts it through, and once again back out to a 4-goal margin. So this is Smith in the centre. Good pass, wasting no time. Fires that one into Miller. Miller waits a moment, comes back to Smith. Smith centres it. Theos got the hand in. Davies did well enough. She's won it back for Upwey Tecoma, so this will come back to O'Hare. And Upwey can rebound once again. Davies wastes no time, has the short option to Pickard, but goes longer to Theos. She finds Hamilton. Hamilton onto Donnelly. Louis calls for it, but she's going to go back inboard for the moment to Theos. Theos did well, found Hamilton. And they've cut them open here, have Upwey it. Hamilton missed the opportunity, so a little reprieve here for Woori. So Caneva on the last line of defence. for the Tigers of the Valley. Finds Barber. She comes back to Caneva. Louis gives away contact. So Caneva finds Barber. Barber wastes no time to Smith. Smith short to Corliss. Corliss back to Barber. So they could work it around here for the moment. Corliss tucks it into the corner once again with Smith. And opportunity for Woori just to get it back to 3 goals. And they did it the hard way, but they've done it nonetheless. Back to 3 goals. So Theos in the centre to Donnelly. Puts it up. It's a good pass to Hamilton. Caneva did well, just not well enough in the end. Louis recovering the pass from Hamilton, and Mia Louis puts it through, and once again it's back out to 4 goals. 10-6 the score. So Smith once more in the centre. Laterally with a pass to Corliss. Corliss long passes a good one to Miller. So it comes back with Davies onto Pickard, onto Theos. Hamilton, and she's found Louis. And they can turn this into a 5-goal margin, and she's put it through. So definitely got the better start here so far, Upwey Tecoma. Theos once again in the centre did well. Hamilton. And contact's been given away. So it'll come back to Pickard. Or Donnelly it is in fact. So Hamilton, Donnelly. And Hamilton found the spot she liked, and she can make it a 6-goal margin. So 12-6 it is at the moment. Smith comes laterally, was a good pass in the end. She gets it back as well, does Smith. Short to Booth, who's come back onto the court. To Booth to Miller, who won't have the shot at goal. She comes back to Smith, and that's a good pass. And that one goes through, so they get one back to Woori Yallock. So it's a 5-goal margin at the moment. Theos onto Donnelly. Donnelly comes back to Davies, and then she goes back to Donnelly. Hamilton. So it comes back to Donnelly once more. Short pass to Mia Louis, who's going to back herself in from there, and she puts it through. And so back out to a 6-goal margin. 13-7 it is. Corliss, who's back into the goal attack position. Good pass from DeBoof. And wasting absolutely no time, Woori to get a response. Back to 5 goals. Comes out short to Donnelly. Donnelly, good one to Theos. She might go back to Donnelly. She goes back to Pickard instead. Lateral pass is a good one to Hamilton. Looking for Theos as Hamilton. She gets it to her eventually. Louis, Donnelly. Eventually goes for Hamilton. Barber tried to steal it off her but couldn't do so. And now Hamilton. Short one to Louis, who wasn't attended, and she puts it through, and once again it's back out to a 6-goal margin. So it comes back into the centre once more. Smith, Corliss, waits, finds DeBoof. DeBoof pops it up for Smith, who collected it nicely. Not legally, though, said the umpire. So it comes back to Davies, who doesn't want to waste any time. She quickly finds Pickard. Pickard onto Theos, and then Hamilton. And she finds Mia Louis. So fast counter-attacking play from Upwey Tecoma. They lead by 7 goals. So they've really got the hot start here at the moment. That's a good pass on this occasion to Theos. Donnelly onto Mia Louis. And she puts through another goal. So back out to an 8-goal margin. It is now 16-8 the score. Lateral pass is a good one. So Corliss. And now O'Hare. DeBoof puts it up. And Jamie Tuff puts that one through. 16-9 the score it is at the moment. Good one back to Davies. Donnelly eventually gets it across to Theos. And Mia Louis puts it through once again. So 17-9 the score it is at the moment. Corliss. DeBoof. Finds Smith. Smith could have gone to Corliss. O'Hare's nearly stolen it. She's done well enough. So O'Hare onto Davies. She comes back to O'Hare. She fires it out to Theos. Pops it over the top for Pickard nicely. Then laterally to Davies. Right on her measure. She finds Hamilton. Theos has spilled it. And Smith pounced nicely. Intercepted it. Got it to Corliss. But then Davies does really well. She fires it back to O'Hare. Then she goes short to Theos. Nearly stolen by to boot, but couldn't complete the job. Now Donnelly's got the ball in the attacking third for Upwey Tecoma. This is Hamilton. Hamilton to Mia Louie it is. And she's not going to get the shot at goal. So that'll do us for quarter time in the match of the round. It's Georgia Theos with the centre pass. It's up by Tecoma by 8 goals. So Theos wasting no time at all. Donnelly found Pickard. Jess Black, who's come onto the court for the second quarter, who receives the pass straight away. And just like that, she's got a goal. 18-9 the score at the moment. So Smith onto Corliss. Back to Smith. Searches around a long pass, but didn't do it legally. So it's going to come back the other way. Pickard did nicely to Donnelly. Over the top to Black. Black just comes back with a pass to Theos. Nicely done by Caneva. Cut it off beautifully. She finds Smith. Smith, good long pass to Corliss. Corliss wastes no time. Onto DeBoof. DeBoof laterally to Smith. Smith eventually to Corliss, who has tough over the top. It's got to come back to Corliss. So Corliss to Booth. And Jamie Tough on the end of that one. And she puts it through. So they can get it back to 8 goals the margin for the time being. 18-10 the score at the moment. Still the way of Upwey Tecoma. Donnelly wasting no time. Comes back to Pickard once again with Donnelly. Donnelly knocked away by Smith, who's going to win the foot race. In the end, it was cleverly escorted over by Theos. Off the hands of Smith. Black just going to come back to Donnelly, who collected it nicely and just got a bit of contact there from Evans. And then over the head of Mia Louis. So this will come back for Woori Yallock. Demi Barbu switched with Olivia Caneva and goalkeeper. Caneva into goal defence, who's got the ball now. She wants to come back to Barber. So Barber, Donnelly slipping over at the inopportune time, and then DeBoof losing the ball at the inopportune time. So Pickard got it from Davies. She'll go back to Davies, who's corralled nicely. She comes back to Pickard, finds Black, who's got up the court nicely. Then short to Donnelly. Donnelly wanted to go to Louis. She comes back to Davies. Then Donnelly once again collected it nicely. Here is Black. And Louis done well. Collected the one hand and didn't go out of play. And she finishes off the job, Mia Louis, out to a 9-goal margin now, are up by Tecoma. So once again, it's Smith in the centre. Pops it over the top to Corliss. Tough calls for it long. Davies doing well momentarily, got the hand in. So Corliss comes back to DeBoof and then gets it back from her. So now she can light it up here. Danica Corliss and makes no mistake. 19-11 the score. So once again, Theos laterally to Pickard. Pickard centres it to Donnelly, then Black, who puts it up for Mia Louis, who did well. Just clamped onto it before it went out of play and puts it through once more. It's 20-11 now. So Corliss getting it from Smith, then finding DeBoof, putting it up for Tough, who tracks it back, but once again Davies just happy to escort it over. So Corliss comes back to DeBoof, who just got contact on that occasion. DeBoof, clever look away pass. Jamie Tough was onto it, and she finishes off the job. Back to 8 goals the margin. So once again, this is Theos in the centre, laterally to Davies. Waste no time to Black, who lost control of it, but Davies recovered it. Pickard. Theos, once again, Black. Just put too much on that pass. That's over the head of Mia Louis, so this will come back to Demi Barber. So Barber finds Caneva. Back to Barber. Caneva once again. We'll just go short to Evans. Barber. Once again, Caneva. And then again with Barber. So they're really corralled nicely at the moment. Caneva, though, did well. Found Simple on that occasion. Long pass, but doing well was Tough. She got up at the right time. Corliss. Calls for someone to come at her. So Smith assessing the options, wanted callers. And now callers can line them up. And she puts it through, important goal. So they work it around once again. Smith doing nicely, finding DeBoof. And DeBoof puts it up and Tough collects it nicely. And back-to-back goals for Woori Yallock, back to 6 goals the margin. So once again, Theos in the centre. Black to Davies, then Donnelly. Donnelly to Louis. Who can align them up here? Mia Louis can't put it through, and Demi Barber did well enough. Cuts it off. Lateral pass to Keneva. Comes all the way back. Long pass, Keneva did well. Just got to it in time to Booth. Laterally to Corliss. Puts it up once again. Jamie Tough just comes back at the moment to Smith. She calls for it back Tough, and there she's got it. And she puts it through, and there's 3 in a row for Woori Yallock. Suddenly back to 5 goals the margin. And Smith has the centre pass. So Smith, laterally to Corliss. Shorts it nicely there on that occasion to DeBoof. But then it's been cut off here by Pickard, so not a good pass. Donnelly laterally to Davies. Davies just waits a moment, short to Pickard. Donnelly calls for it and gets it as well. She goes short to Black. Looking for Louis, but then decides to go to Theos. Collected it nicely in the one hand, and Louis eventually finds herself on the end of this one. She lines them up, and she puts it through. Back to 6 goals the margin. So Theos, Black, laterally to Pickard. Short once again to Theos, and then Black once again. Another little short pass to Donnelly, and Black's got it. So she can put this margin back out to 7 goals. Can't do so. Keneva got it first off the post. Theos has cut it off nicely with that pass. Going nowhere, but out of play. So they get a little reprieve here to Woori Yallock after the initial mistake. Barber onto Keneva. Back to Barber. Good pass here. He's going to work out nicely to Smith, who wastes no time onto DeBoof. DeBoof comes back to Smith momentarily. Then she's going to find Corliss, who has Tough up ahead, but decides on this occasion to go to DeBoof. Once again with Corliss. DeBoof assessing the options, and Davies once again doing well. So Corliss is going to come back to DeBoof. Getting the hand in there was Theos, and it came off DeBoof, said the umpire, so it's going to come back to O'Hare. And Upwey with a reprieve in defence. Pickard doing nicely, finding Davies. Davies, good long pass to Black. Black waits, comes back to Pickard. Donnelly calls for it and gets it. She goes short to Black once again. She goes back to Donnelly, just got a bit of contact. And Jess Black puts it through. So 22-15 the score at the moment. 7 goals the margin the way of Upwey Tecoma. DeBoof got it from Barber. Long pass is a good one to Smith. Tough. Oh, slipped momentarily, but kept her feet just at the right time, and she's got it once again, Jamie Tough. Oh, he's been pretty good since she's come onto the court, and there's another goal. Once again, margin back to 6. So Black gets it from Theos. She goes short to Donnelly. Donnelly did well to Theos. Black goes back to Theos, and then she calls for it back, and now she can line them up. Jess Black. And she puts it through, and once again back to the 7 goals the margin. 23-16 it is at the moment. So Smith wasting no time to Booth. All the way back to Keneva, and they've turned it over here of Woori Yallock. So Pickard has to go once again. Just goes short to Davies for the moment. Then Donnelly to Jess Black, who just took too long. Just didn't find the right option in time. So DeBoof does well to Keneva. Keneva fires up the line to Corliss. It's a good one as well. On to Smith. Smith, good one to Tough, who just can't make this opportunity work. She tracks it back though. Corliss. And Tough does well, holds strong in position. And Corliss can't take advantage of the first attempt. Does with the second attempt. So once again back to 6 goals, 23-17. So back in the centre here with Theos. Long pass from O'Hare. And oh, gee. Louis courageously back into the post. Unfortunately for her, couldn't finish off the job. So Geneva waste no time. Corliss collected it well. Davies knocked it away but can't win the foot race. Central pass to Smith, who finds Corliss. Corliss, little underground one to, well, looking for Tough it was, but now it does come back to Corliss. It's to get it back to 5 goals, and she puts it through. So once again, very important there for Woori Alex. So they're just slowly whittling away this margin. It was nearly 10 goals at one stage. 9 goals was the largest margin. Tough's on the end of this one. She goes back to Smith, and she's got it once again. Tough. This to bring it back to 4 goals, and she's got it. So doing it really well at the moment. Woori Alex really had the momentum in the last. Oh, Theos just slipping, and unfortunately does have to be penalised there for stepping. So DeBoof and Geneva slipping this time. The court really not favouring anyone at the moment. Corliss got ball in hand at the moment. She goes short to DeBoof. DeBoof all the way back to Geneva. Geneva with a lateral pass. And now Smith. Davies doing well enough. So they can come back the other way, can Woori Alex. Theos has got ball in hand at the moment. Lateral pass, a good one. Davies has been busy this quarter. She finds Black. Little underground pass to Donnelly. She wanted Louis and got her eventually. And Mia Louis puts that one through and just gets a little steadier there for Upwey Tecoma. We have just lost a little bit of momentum in this quarter so far. So they can work it around again here. Can the Tigers of the Valley? This is Smith. DeBoof nearly had it taken away, but not legally. DeBoof puts it up. Davies did well, got to the front position, cut it off as well. Wasted no time. Pickard on to Theos. Lateral one to Davies, nearly lost it, but kept it in the end. On to Donnelly. Donnelly, little underground pass to Black, who wanted... Well, Louis came off the hand of Geneva on that occasion. So it comes back. Theos. Black lost it, got it back. Won't have the shot at goal. Look away pass. And she lost it, Mia Louis, so it's going to come to Barber, who went short to Geneva. Then Smith. Long pass. Oh, very well done there by Pickard. Wasted no time. Mia Louis gets it momentarily. Short to Black. Black just comes back to Donnelly and called for stepping, so they get out of jail once again to Woori Alex. So the defence holding up pretty well at the moment. Barber wasting no time. Good pass on to DeBoof. They continue to press forward. Smith's got it now. Smith to Tough, and Davies giving away contact. And Jamie Tough puts through another goal, back to 4 goals the margin. So once again, Theos in the centre, and Woori just breaking too early on that occasion. So they do pretty well here. Donnelly does well to Theos, and she finds Mia Louis. And puts it back out to a 5-goal margin. Smith, lateral to Corliss, and then DeBoof, back to Geneva. Smith, Corliss once again, Smith again, Tough. And she's not going to get the second crack at it. They do well, the Upwey defence. Pickard's onto it at the moment. Did well to Davies. Over the top to Black, laterally to Pickard. Onto Theos. Theos, Black calling for it back. So a little underground one here. This is Black. Comes back to Donnelly. Lateral pass is a good one to Theos. It's over everyone's head. It's hit the net. And found its way out of play. So this is going to come back for Woori Alex once again. So Barber. Gets the pass back. Just a little bit unsure where to go at the moment. Woori Kneva eventually finds it. And then she goes back to Barber once again. Then Kneva once more. Onto Smith. Have started to work their way through. Corliss onto it now. Good one to DeBoof. Tough calling for it. Not going to get it just at the moment. Now Smith once again. And cleverly done. Tough's on the end of this one. And once again, she puts it back to a 4-goal margin. So Theos out of the centre to Donnelly. Waits a moment, then found Theos once more. This is Louis, and that's going to do us for half-time. And after trailing by 9 goals in that quarter, we're just fighting back there and getting the margin back to 4 goals. Second half action about to get underway. Smith with the centre pass. It's Woori Yallock trailing by 4 goals at the moment. So Tough's going to stay in that goal shooter spot, which is fair enough. Pretty good first half so far. Pickard on the end of this pass for the moment. She wastes no time getting it onto Davies. And Jess Black starting as goal shooter. Hamilton's going to be goal attack. So they're out of the centre. Donnelly, who's gone into the centre, switched with Theos, who's moved into wing attack. She's going to get it back, Theos, and Black. Off to a good start in the second half. Already got 2 goals. And back out to a 6-goal margin, just like that for Upwey Tecoma. Just undoing a bit of the hard work done by Woori. So Corliss, lateral, good one. Barber, but DeBoof I should say, and that pass a bit errant. Cut off by Davies, she went to O'Hare. Donnelly in trouble, but she's going to find a way onto the end of this one. So Theos, going to go back to Hamilton, and she finds Black, who not going to make use of the first attempt, but puts this one through, and just like that, out to 7 goals the margin. So really making good use of this so far. Short pass is a good one. Hamilton back to Donnelly. Thought about Theos, but once again goes for Hamilton. Donnelly puts it up, and here is Black once again. And she puts through another goal. Out to 8 goals the margin suddenly. So fast start here so far for Upwey Tecoma in this third quarter. Pass goes over the top. Smith to DeBoof. DeBoof's got to go all the way back to Barber. Barber back to Smith. Wants to go for Tough. She gets it to her eventually, and she's done well here, Jamie Tough. And puts that one through. Gets it back to 7 goals for the time being. So Donnelly, Davies, Hamilton, Pickard over the... Oh, it slipped through the hands of Davies. She recovered it well. Long pass, and... it's going to come back the other way, so Kneva did well to find Smith. Good long pass to DeBoof. She's going to go back to Barber for the time being. Waits and eventually finds Smith. Smith out to Corliss, not looking for the shot at goal here. Tough has got a bit of room. And Corliss has found it. And Jamie Tough puts it through. And they get it back to 6 goals the margin. So once again, Woori fighting back. So Smith goes out wide. Good one to DeBoof. Pops it over the top nicely here. This is going to come to Smith. Long pass. Corliss. And now Tough. And now Corliss. Can get it back to 5 goals. So they work it around for the time being. Hamilton. Theos cleverly lets it bounce in front of her, and now she wanted to get it to Black. It's got to come back to Hamilton, who goes for Donnelly, and Black eventually gets her hands on it and can't put it through. She's going to recover it. Black, she can't have the shot at goal this time, though. So contact given away from Evans, and now Black once again. Doesn't put this through either. Woori might be out here. And they've done well here, the Woori defence. So it'll come back to Kneva. She goes to Barber. Back to Kneva. Evans puts it up for Smith, who did well. Evans will take this one once again. Unsure where to go. Long pass is a good one to Smith, who waits and eventually goes to Corliss. It's got to come back to Smith, though. She does eventually go back to Corliss. So Smith waits. Centres it to DeBoof. Corliss. Had it taken away illegally there by Davies. And then Smith once again. So Corliss decides to have the shot at goal, and she's put it through. It's back to 4 goals the margin once more. And Smith has the centre pass, so right back in this one at the moment, a Woori Yallock. Corliss gets it from Smith. She goes back to her as well, waits a moment, puts it up for Tough. Tough all the way back to Corliss, on to Boof. And Tough has done well, kept it in play and puts it through. It's back to 3 goals the margin. So 5 unanswered goals here for the Tigers of the Valley and Upwey Tecoma. Just need to find a bit of momentum back here at the moment. It's all going the way of Woori. Pickard, good long pass to Donnelly, who goes short to Theos. Goes with the underground one. Black makes it work. And she can line up the goals and puts it through. So there's just a little steadier for the time being. But once again, it's back with Smith, who does well to Boof. Laterally to Corliss. And then once again with Smith, who puts it up. And Tough's done well. And quickly responds and gets it back to 3 goals. 30-27, the score at the moment. So Donnelly to Hamilton. So it comes back to Theos, who could have gone to Donnelly, but she finds Black, who made the pass work. Jess Black, she puts that one through, and back to a 4-goal margin, 31-27 it is Donnelly. Well, Smith's in fact with a centre pass to Deboof, quickly on to Corliss, laterally to Smith, Corliss, is knocked away. Corliss recovers it nicely, but she's passed it straight to Theos. Can you believe that? So now they're on the counter-attack Upwey Tecoma. Davies wasted no time onto Pickard, then to Hamilton. She finds Theos, then she goes to Black, all the way back to Davies. Short one to Donnelly. Hamilton, once again Theos. Donnelly once more, and she gets it to Black, who can just steady the ship a little bit more, gets it back to 5 goals. So just the last couple for Upwey Tecoma. Real seesawing contest it is at the moment. Theos, well-weighted pass to Hamilton, and she's got it to Black. And just like that, it's back out to 6 goals. So now we've got to try and respond here. Corliss to Boof slipping over. Really not ideal conditions for anyone. The courts are wet. Tough, who's been good all day. Corliss, Smith, once again with Corliss to Boof. To Tough, didn't want to have the shot at goal. She goes back to Deboof, and she's got it eventually. Got to come back to Corliss, though. Tough still calling for it, and she's done really well there. Collects it in the one hand, puts through the goal. Gets it back to 5 goals the margin, so Donnelly once again with the centre pass. Just goes short to Davies. Davies eventually goes to Hamilton. And then she goes back to Davies. She pops it over the top to Donnelly, who just assesses the options. Eventually decides to go back to Davies. This is Theos. Hamilton hasn't really had any shots at goal so far in this quarter. Hamilton, she might have one now, though. So Taylor Hamilton is to get it back to 6 goals for Upwey Tecoma. Can't put that through. And Caneva. No, not legally, said the umpire. Gave away the contact, and Black finishes off the job. Gets it back to 6 goals once again. So they can work it around once again here, Woori. Deboof back to Smith. Deboof calls for it once more. Lateral pass. Corliss makes it work. Could have gone to Tough, but decided to go back to Deboof. Corliss doesn't want to have the shot at goal. Smith gets it back to Corliss. Still doesn't want to have the shot at goal. I think she might now. No, she wants to find Tough, and it hasn't worked out at all for Upwey Tecoma. Davies was onto it. Probably just became a bit too predictable there, did Corliss. And now Upwey into their attacking third. Theos got to get rid of it quickly. Hamilton slipped over at the inopportune time, and now Woori can counter-attack. So they've got the opportunity. Barber did well to Evans, waste no time. Found Deboof, laterally. Good one to Barber. Doesn't have a lot of options. Once again, Evans does well to Smith. Corliss picked it up nicely at her feet. Oh, no. And she's been penalised. So O'Hare. Oh, well done by Tough. Gets it back to Smith. Waits, eventually finds Deboof. Oh, Davies once again, another really good interception. So this is Pickard. She'll go back to Davies. Waits. Theos. Donnelly's got to keep it in play. She does. And then she finds Black, who's happy to line them up from there. And she puts it through. And after all that, Upwey get it back to a 7-goal margin. So they can Keep moving it here for the moment. Comes back to Davies, then to Theos. It's anyone's ball here. It's smashed away. Off the hands of either Barbara or Caneva, said the umpire. So Donnelly with the ball for the moment. Unsure where to go. Finds Hamilton. She'll go back to Donnelly. Hamilton calls for it once again as she's got it. She can line them up, Hamilton. Does get another opportunity, Hamilton. Black's kept it in. She's done well enough to get it to Theos. And that pass from Hamilton. No, Black has kept it in. Looked like it was going out for all money. Now it comes back to Theos once again. Hamilton didn't want to have the shot at goal. Black calls for it. She will have the shot at goal. And Jess Black puts it through. Back to an 8-goal margin for Upwey Tecoma. So Woori have broken too early. Can you believe that? So all the hard work getting it back to 3 goals just seeming to come undone a little bit here at the moment for the Valley Tigers. So this is Pickard. Does well to Donnelly. We're defence keeping him pretty well at the moment, but eventually Black's got it out the back. And Jess Black doesn't put it through, but she's received contact there from Caneva, and she puts through another goal. And now it is a 9-goal margin. 37-28 it is at the moment. Donnelly laterally to Pickard. Pickard finds Davies. Davies does well. It's going to come back to Donnelly for the moment. Black calls for it. It's come off her hand as well. So Barber doing well there in defence. And Caneva will take it on the last line. So can't waste any time. Barber did well. Short pass, a good one to DeBoof. On to Corliss. Corliss to Smith. Smith puts it up, and Tough has got it. She can get it back to 8 goals, and she does. 37-29. Comes back to Smith. So opportunity to respond here once again for Woori Yallock. Corliss. Smith. Good long pass. Tough on the end of it. Back to Corliss, then DeBoof. Tough is calling for it. It's going to go to Smith for the moment. Corliss calls for it now. It might fall into her lap. So it stays with Woori off the hand of either O'Hare or Davies. Knocked away from Tough, and they're going to get it back here. Upwey Tecoma. Pickard onto it. Long pass is a good one to Theos. Waits a moment. Goes short to Pickard. Then Donnelly. Donnelly, little look away pass was a good one to Hamilton. Theos once again. And well done by Evans, kept it in play, found Barber, long pass, good one to Smith. They've opened it up here a bit. Woori Yallock. Corliss has got to be quick. She does get it to DeBoof eventually. Could have gone with Tough, decides to go back to Corliss. She fires it all the way across to Smith, and Tough, does she keep it in? And contact's been given away, so there's still a chance here. Woori. Tough eventually on the end of it, gets it back to 7 goals, so back-to-back goals here for Woori Yallock. So Donnelly with the centre pass. Short, good one. Hamilton goes back to her. Black calls for it, just keeps her feet. Looked a little bit uncomfortable there on that proppy left ankle. Black knocked away. Can Evans get to it first? Yes, she can. She can get the moving out of defence. Caneva's got it now. Good long pass up the line to DeBoof. Lateral one inboard was another good one as well. There to Smith. Pickard comes in to knock it away, but DeBoof still with ball in hand, so really fighting hard here, Woori. Down by 7 goals, but just got the better of these last couple of minutes. Smith puts it up. Tough, who's been really good this game so far. She's going to have another opportunity in front of goal. And Jamie Tough, very nicely done. Puts it through, back to 6 goals the margin. DeBoof, Smith, Tough. Finds it back to Corliss. And Tough once again, this to bring it back to 5 goals, and she puts it through. So last 4 goals of the game here for Woori Yallock. Got the momentum at the moment. Hamilton quickly to Theos. Theos, lateral one back to Hamilton. And now Black. Doesn't make this opportunity work. Caneva knocked it away, but just gave away contact on Hamilton. Oh, it's Black, I should say, and Black puts it through. Back to 6 goals the margin once again. So Smith with a centre pass. DeBoof. Good one to Tough. All the way back to Smith and then Corliss. Smith again. Corliss not wanting to have the shot at goal. So Smith, tough calling for it. It comes all the way across to DeBoof, who held it nicely. Corliss does decide to line this one up, and she puts it through. Once again, back to 5 goals. Much needed one there for Woori Yallock. So once again, Donnelly in the centre. Theos, long pass. Good one it was as well. Black. Whose hand was it off? It was off Caneva. So Jess Black all the way back. Smith. Nearly brilliantly done. That is going to do us anyway, though, for three-quarter time. It is 5 goals the difference at the final change. So last quarter action about to get underway. It is Upwey Tecoma by 5 goals. It is Chelsea Smith with the centre pass. Coley Miller back on the court and just a bit too much on that pass. So O'Hare will take it on the last line of defence. Pickard waste no time to Davies. Fires the pass in. It's a good one to Theos. Waits and waits, and she's taken too long. Here's an opportunity for Woori once again, so they can get a little reprieve from the initial mistake. So this is Caneva. Puts it up there for Calls, who's starting as wing attack. Caneva then to Smith. Underground one to Tough. Miller. So now Corliss. Little underground one to Kylie Miller, who can line them up, and she puts it through. Good start for Woori. First goal in the last quarter. Back to 4 goals the margin. So Donnelly once again with the centre pass, wasting no time. Theos wants to go back to Pickard, who had to keep it in play. Davies right on a measure here. She finds Black. Black knocked away by Corliss, but she stepped offside. So Donnelly. Black, who's got room, calls for it and gets it. Doesn't really know where to go. She's going to go all the way back to Pickard. Then Donnelly once again to Black once more. Dangerous one. DeBoof's going to knock it away. It will come back to Theos, who centres it back at the moment to Donnelly. Underground pass. Black did make it work. And then she goes back to Theos once again. Louis back on the court, but Black is on the end of the pass. Doesn't make the shot at goal work, and Caneva's done well enough. Got to the front spot. This is DeBoof back to Barber. DeBoof once again. Barber once again. Caneva and then Smith. Black did really well. Got up at the right time. Cut it off. So now Upwey on the counter-attack here. Good long pass to Donnelly from Pickard. Then comes all the way back to Davies. Here is Theos. Anyone's ball here now. Whose hand was that off? It's going to stay with Upwey Tecoma off Caneva. So this is Black. Comes back to Booth. Putting in the effort there. So once again, fires it out to Louis. Caneva's nearly stolen it. Not legally though. So Mia Louis doesn't want to have the shot at goal. She'll get it to Jess Black, who puts it through. Gets Upwey Tecoma's first goal of the last quarter. So back out to a 5-goal margin. Smith. Miller back to Smith. Good one to Tough. Then once again with Smith. Miller. So Kylie Miller, does she line them up? Yes, no, she doesn't. Faked it nicely to Tough, who gets it back to 4 goals the margin, 39 to 35. So Donnelly, laterally to Davies. Davies waits and then gets it on to Donnelly, who then goes to Black. Black all the way across there to Theos and Louis on the end of this one, and she puts it through, and once again back to 5 goals, 40 to 35. So just need to string a couple together here at the moment to Woori Yallock, still trailing by 5 goals. So Miller, laterally to DeBoof. Looking for Miller once again. She kept it in play, but she's knocked it straight to Donnelly. It's gone out of play anyway, said the umpire, so this will come back to O'Hare. Short one is a good one to Pickard. Davies, look away pass to Donnelly. And then she goes back to Pickard. She goes short to Theos. Theos eventually to Black, who was expecting it, then wasn't. And then Louis can light it up this to make it 6 goals, and she's put it through, 41-35. And Donnelly has the centre pass at the moment. Underground pass will work out just fine to Black. She'll go back to Davies. And then once again for Black, long pass, good one to Donnelly, knocked away by Caneva. So Black once again. All the way back here to Theos, who got a bit of room. And then eventually just Black finds a spot that she's happy with, and she can line them up and puts it through and makes it a 7-goal difference. So this pass comes all the way back to Caneva, waits, and then eventually settles it onto Deboof, waiting. Corliss spilled it, and it fell straight to the hands of Pickard. Theos, short one to Davies. Davies waits, and then eventually goes back to Theos. She goes short to Black. Black into the corner for Donnelly. Donnelly all the way across to Theos. And now Jess Black once again. She can make it 8 goals the difference here, and she puts it through. 43-35 the score. So once again, Donnelly comes back to Pickard. Davies centres it nicely to Theos, to Louis. Caneva did well. Eventually gets it back to Corliss. Corliss, good long pass. Miller's on the end of it, collects it well. Waits. Corliss again. Can go back to Miller. And she wanted to pass it back, but she eventually does decide to have the shot at goal, and she puts it through. So important one there for Woori Yallock, and this will come back to Smith. So really got to get the next one here too as well to Woori. Time not really favouring them at the moment. Tough came out to meet it and collected it well. She might get it back here, Tough. It's knocked away, but not legally. Contact given away there by O'Hare. So Jamie Tough once again puts that one through. Back to 6 goals the margin. 43-37. Back-to-back goals for Woori. So Donnelly with a centre pass to Davies. Short one to Theos. Waits a moment, then goes back to Davies. Here is Black. Little short one. Theos recovered it after spilling it momentarily, and then cleverly found Black, who just had enough space, but she doesn't make the shot at goal work. So Woori with a bit of a reprieve here. So Demi Barber, waste no time, found Smith. She pops it over the top nicely to Caneva. She's got to wait a moment, props, and then goes back to Smith. Smith, long pass, good pass to Miller. Waits, doesn't have a lot at home. Smith, she'll go back to Miller as well. And Tough collects it nicely in the one hand, puts it through. There's 3 in a row for Woori Yallock. It's back to 5 goals. So they're not going to go away without a fight here, are the Tigers of the Valley. And Upwey broken early here. So again with another opportunity. Deboof to Tough. And just like that, back to 4 goals, 43-39. So really whittling the margin away here once again are the Tigers of the Valley. Theos does well to Pickard. And a bit of contact given away there on Black. So Donnelly does well to Louis. Then Theos, Louis. Oh, she recovered it well in the end, Mia Louis. It was a fumbling ball. So Louis with a second attempt, this to get it back to 5 goals, and just a little steadier there for Upwey Tecoma. So 44-39 it is at the moment. So the pass comes out to Corliss, who's unsure where to go. Lateral one nearly cut off, but Deboof doing well in the end. Davies couldn't snatch it. So Smith, look away pass was a good one to Miller, who was onto it. Then it comes back to Smith once again. Looking for Tough, who's got it. And Jamie Tough puts through another one. Once again, back to 4 goals, 44-40. So Theos, back to Donnelly. Pops it over the top to Black. Black all the way back to Pickard. It was nearly over her head, but she got up at the right time. Theos, Black. Does she have the shot at goal? No, she doesn't. She will now, though. So Jess Black to get it back to 5 goals, the margin. Not with the first attempt, but with the second. So 45-40 the score. So Smith, laterally to Corliss. On to Miller. Miller, good one. Once again for Smith. And now Tough. Gets it back to 4 goals. 45-41 it is. So Donnelly goes back to Pickard. Davies is calling for it, but she's going to go all the way back to O'Hare. Then once again for Pickard. Theos collected it nicely. Underground pass is a good one for Black. All the way across. This is a good one as well. Good build up, Donnelly and Louis. Nice collection there in the one hand, and back to 5 goals the margin, 46 to 41. So Corliss knocked away. Miller did well. Just recovered at the last minute. Smith to Miller, who's going to line them up and can't quite put it through, and O'Hare's done well. Got to adjust in time. Short pass is a good one. They've got to wait a couple of moments here. Pickard just lets it bounce in front, then goes to Black. She goes laterally to Davies. She'll go back to Black. Black wanted Donnelly, but then went to Davies, and then eventually she goes to Donnelly. Now Black calls for it. It's not going to have the shot at goal. Just comes back to Donnelly momentarily. Louis calls for it now. She's got it. And Mia Louis to line them up. This to get it back to 6 goals. Caneva pops it up in the air, and real chaos ball here at the moment. So it comes back for Donnelly, who gets it to Black. And Jess Black doesn't take the opportunity, and they've done well with the Woori defence. So it comes back to Barber on the last line. Gets it to DeBoof, quickly to Smith. Pops it over the top once again for DeBoof. She fires it out to Miller, had plenty of room. And now it's got to come back from by Tecoma. So O'Hare, not going to waste any time, finds Pickard onto Theos. Theos back to Pickard, laterally to Davies, to Black, who had a little bit of room. She'll go, thought she was going to go for Donnelly. She went to Davies, then she goes to Donnelly. Theos, underground pass. It's pinballing all over the place at the moment, the ball, and it's ended up with Black, and then she shorts it to Louis, and Mia Louis puts it through, and now there is that 6-goal margin. Caneva can't keep it in. So Black got it from Donnelly, and she found Louis. Fast bit of play, and there we go, back to 7 goals the margin. Smith to Miller, laterally to Corliss, and then once again to Miller. And through the hands of Corliss, disappointing result there for Woori. So Upwey can counter-attack once again. O'Hare did well to Pickard. A long pass is going to work for Donnelly. Short one back to O'Hare, who then goes up the court to Theos. Davies, Black calls for it, gets it. Waste no time. Donnelly's got to keep it in. Did she? No. Oh, no, she has. And Mia Louis finishes it off. So an 8-goal margin. And the effort there from Georgia Donnelly to keep that ball in play has led to that goal and really put Upwey in a strong position. Charlotte Davies onto Pickard. Theos, underground one, comes back to Theos looking for Louis, and she's got it. And she can put this back out to 9 goals, and she's put it through. 50 to 41 the score. So once again, Smith, Miller, knocked away, but not legally. Miller just going to come back to Corliss momentarily. The little underground one just works out to Miller, tough. Not with the first attempt. But makes use of the second, so back to 8 goals the margin, 50 to 42. Black gets it from Donnelly, then comes back to Davies. Short with this one, that's a good one to Theos. Smith got the hand in, but Donnelly recovered it. Look away pass was a nice one to Theos, and Louis got it. Can't put it through, and it came off the hand of Caneva at the last second. So it is going to stay with Upwey Tecoma. Black all the way back to Donnelly, and Louis once again. And Mia Louis puts it through, 51 to 42 the score. So Smith, DeBoof. Back to Smith. Tucked into the corner there. Once again was Miller. Good one to Smith. Tough. Couldn't keep it in. Name off her hair, said the umpire. So Tough just receiving a bit of contact, so she does get an opportunity here. And doesn't put it through, but Miller's recovered it well and finishes off the job. So back to 8 goals the margin, 51-43. So lateral pass is a good one. Davies, oh, Black. Lost her footing at the last moment. So Barber, oh, Keneva's lost it. Slippery conditions once again, so Black's got it back in hand, waits a moment, then goes short to Pickard. Black once again. And then for a third time getting it from Theos, Jess Black. So this to make it 9 goals the margin once more, and she puts it through. 52-43 the score. So working it around once again, Corliss. Knocked away. And that'll do us in the match of the round. Round 13 between Upwey, Tecoma and Woori, Yallock and the Tigers of the Mountain.